create your split monogram, select the text icon on the left side of your screen, place your cursor just above the font listing, type REG to reach the Regal font and select it, and then click on your mat, type your letter, let's say for the for the letter S, type letter S, and then once it's on your mat, I'm going to undo that because I was moving the center of gravity doing that. I just want to select my letter and move it up, and then drag it out to make it as large as I can on my mat. And to actually split the letter, I'm going to create a rectangle around the middle of the letter. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to center the letter to make sure that it's right in the middle of the screen. There we go. And I'll click my rectangle tool again, and I'm going to start it over here and spread it down this far, maybe even a little bit further, because I want to make sure that there's enough room to add my text afterwards. And then I'm going to select everything and click Object, Modify, and Subtract. It's going to take a minute. Just be patient while it does its work. Like I said, be patient, just have to wait. Takes a few minutes for Silhouette Studio to get this done. And we're waiting and waiting. I should play some music in the background. There we go. So it has split that, and I'm going to add a couple of small rectangles right over here that I'll be welding to finish off the letter. I want to make sure that that's aligned so that it looks centered. I'll move it over slightly this way. Now it looks pretty good. Centered compared to the letter, I should say. And then I'm going to copy this and then paste it. Move it into place at the bottom portion of my letter, and I want to make sure that this rectangle is slightly overlapping the other lines, and we'll see that when we zoom in a second. It's looking like it's probably okay. And I'm also going to select these two rectangles, then click the Align window and align to the left to make sure that they line up correctly. And now I'm going to zoom in and make sure that everything is overlapping. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so it's a little bit clearer to see. And over to here. Now it doesn't need to be quite as far. That will be quite good. And then at the bottom here as well, I can see, make sure that my pieces are overlapping, and that's fine. I'm going to zoom right out, and then I'm going to select the whole top portion and weld that together. Then I'll select the whole bottom portion and weld that together. And when I choose the color fill window and fill that with color, I should have grouped it as well. Make sure everything stays together. And now when I fill with color, all of it will fill. So here again, I will group it, because what's happening is little pieces like this leaf over here is a separate piece, so you need to make sure that's grouped. So I'll group all of this, and then I'll fill it with color. And there you go, you've got your split letter, and everything lines up perfectly. Now the next part of this is to type in a name in the middle over here. To do that, I'm going to select all of my letter. I'm going to group it. I'm going to make it larger. I'm going to make it large enough to fill my mat. It gives me a little bit more space in between without disrupting my letters. And I'm going to choose another font. In this case, I'm going to use Lover's Quarrel. And I'm typing in the word or the name Shirley. Now that's a little bit small, so I'm going to stretch that out to fit better. Actually, what I'd like to write is two names, so I'm going to do that. And I want to show you something very important about typing fonts and then cutting them out. To do that, I'm going to zoom in and show you that wherever you've got letters touching like this, if you don't weld them, they're going to cut into your letters. So for example, this bit of the H will cut into the I right here. This bit of the I will cut into the R. So you want to make sure that your letters are close enough together and that you can weld them then. So I'm going to ungroup all of these so that they're all individual letters. Then I'm going to use my keyboard just to nudge them over a little bit. Make sure that they're overlapping so that I'll be able to weld them. And you see at the top that Y is merging with, or overlapping the E in two places. I'll move over to do the word Raymond. And I think I should also go back and do the S in Shirley. A little bit far maybe. Almost done here. Move over a little bit more. I have two letters left over here. There, and I'm going to move back over to the left to see what I want to do with my S. Yeah, and that'll look nice like that. There we go. I'll zoom back out and I'm going to select all of my names. Make sure everything is selected here. And I will weld those together. And I'm going to zoom in again to check that they've welded properly. And there we go, that's fine. And Raymond is looking good too. I'll zoom back out. And now I just want to center the names to the center of my page. So let's see where I'm going to do that. I'll do that right over here. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Undo. I needed to group them first. So let's do that. And group everything together. Because what happened is the Shirley and Raymond were blending together. So now if I align my center, it'll be fine. Should be maybe over this way a little bit. I'm going to fill it with color. And there you go. That looks very nice. And another thing that you can do with these letters when they're as thin as this, they can be quite difficult to cut out in vinyl. You might want to use the offset window, or I should say the offset function, to fatten your letters a little bit. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to choose offset, and that's going to be way too wide. I'm just going to bring that down to 0 and then just start nudging it up a little bit. You see what's happening here? There's a line on the outside, and if you look and see, this is looking like it's not too much, but it's a little bit thicker than what it was. Could maybe go just a little bit more. There, because you see I still want to have the holes in my O and the D and everything. the E over here. I want to have these holes so that this is clearly defined. And that's looking very good. I'm just going to go down one notch just to make this a little bit clearer in here. And then that's going to be good. I'll click apply, and then I'm going to take this portion of it away, select it and delete it, and I will fill this with color. Let's zoom out, select all of this, group it, and then fill it with color so that we can see it clearly on the screen. That's looking better. And that's it. That's all there is to splitting these gorgeous monograms and typing your text inside in the middle of them. I hope that's been helpful to you. Thanks for watching.